Everyone, my name is Fayaz Khan Sahil and today we're gonna learn about plant transport system. Like human, plant also need transport system to move special substances such as carbon dioxide, water, minerals, ion, sugar. Carbon dioxide, as we all know, actually enter through stomata and diffuse into the mesophyll cell where they are used for photosynthesis. Whereas water, for example, this is a plant, these are plant roots, whereas water actually move through roots and it is absorbed by the roots and it is transported to the leaves where they are used for photosynthesis to make glucose, and water are actually moved through xylem. This is a diagram of xylem vessels and we have much more extensive diagram, but for now just remember this one. This is actually the xylem vessels. Okay, xylem vessels, as you can see, it's dead and hollow. And one interesting thing is that, as we know, the product of photosynthesis is glucose. It is actually glucose. However, the glucose is actually converted to, you guys should guess, it is converted to sucrose. Okay, then this sucrose has to be transported from the plant, right? Those are transported actually by a special vessel known as phloem. Phloem, unlike xylem, is actually living cell, allowing the movement in both direction. These two transport systems ensure that all the parts of the plant receive the material they need to survive and grow. Because without this sucrose, plant cannot utilize it for cell division, cell repairing, and without xylem, plant cannot transport water and other minerals. If plant cannot transport these substances, so no photosynthesis will occur, right? Now let's move on to an extensive diagram of xylem. Xylem, a long tube-like structure formed from dead, hollow cell joined together end to end with no end cell wall. So this is very interesting. Suppose let's draw a hypothetical structure of xylem which have end walls, right? Suppose these are the end walls. If it has and water is moving through it, these are the transport system of water. If the xylem have end wall, water will face resistance, so the movement or the rate of transport of water will be reduced a lot, and in some cases it wouldn't be even possible. Yeah, the xylem, as they are dead cell, they lack cytoplasm nuclei, allowing the easier flow of water and minerals ion. However, one interesting part of xylem is that their vessels are actually have a special substance known as lignin. What does lignin actually do? Lignin are hard, waterproof substances that make the vessel strong and rigid. Without the lignin, the vessel will actually collapse. Lignin, for example, this is the lignin particle. Lignin actually strengthens the vessels so it doesn't collapse and it is waterproof. As xylem is moving water, if the water get leaked, it wouldn't be efficient, right? The wood that see in your plants are actually mostly consist of lignified xylem vessels. Now let's look at some of the structure of xylem vessels to make you understand very carefully. This is this, as you can see, the vessel element which have lignin on it, and the transport system, and there is a ground tissue. Now let's move on to some of the features of xylem. For example, xylem is actually used for support system, right? So that is why the cell have lignin on it. Lignin is very strong and it is waterproof. So it allows the xylem vessels to transport water. In leaves, xylem vessels in vascular bundle help the leaf to held flat to provide a large surface area to absorb sunlight. Xylem are definitely used for transport. The cell are dead, no water content, so water can flow easily through the tube. There are no cross walls between the dead cell, so there is a continuous tube for water to flow through it, and all the way from the root to the leaves. Actually, the wall of the xylem vessel again contain lignin. Lignin is solid and make sure the vessel actually stay open, do not collapse, allowing the water to flow easily. The diameter of the vessels is actually 15 micrometer to 200 micrometer. Now let's look at a diagram of a stem. Where does the xylem and vessels lie? As you can see, the whole xylem and phloem combinedly together is called the vascular bundle. In the stem, however, you can see the xylem vessels is at the front, the phloem is at the over here, right? Now let's look at the vascular bundle in a root. Actually, the xylem vessels and phloem tube are found together in a structure known as vascular bundle. In root, the vascular bundle are located at the center. As you can see, it is located at the center. Unlike in stem, they are not arranged in ring. In stem, as you can see, they are arranged in ring. Provide support and resist bending. In leaf, the vascular bundle form a part of a vein, helping the support of leaf and keep it spread out of maximize sunlight to capture for photosynthesis. This red part are actually the xylem over here. These reds are actually the xylem. These are actually the phloem. This is the cortex or root cortex. Now let's look at the structure of phloem. This is our last slide, and I'm really new to the YouTube thing, so I'm trying my best, and I'm a bit nervous, as you can see, because I have never taught someone online, but I do work as a teacher in school, so stay with me. As you can see the structure of phloem, this is phloem tube, the phloem element, and we have companion cells. The phloem is a plant transport tissue made of living cells joined together end to end. For example, this is one part of a phloem, this is second part of a phloem. They are joined together end to end, and they are living tissue, okay? And growing region and storage organs, right? They're found in a lot of region. The movement can happen in both direction in phloem, unlike in xylem, depending on the plant rate. The transportation process is actually known as translocation. Phloem cells have companion cell beside them which help them control and support the transport function by providing them energy. As you can see, all the phloem structure is supported by a companion cell. The function of companion cell is to actually support by providing them energy so they can function properly. Thank you guys, we are up to this for today. Please do subscribe to my channel.